So, from the way that you describe your parents and everything, it seems like they were really supportive of you growing up, right? Very nurturing when it came musically and everything. So, why would you say that you gravitated towards the streets? Was there something in particular that drove you towards that way?
Uh, well, first of all, with the music shit, it was a mix. It there was some support, but as I was getting older, and it was like time to start figuring shit out. You know what I mean? Even like when I first when I quit my job and I'm just rapping and shit back like '07, you know, I'd see my step pops. He's like, "How much did you make today?" Type shit. I'm like, it don't work like that. But let's see what I do at the end of the year. Let's see what I do. You know what I mean? And then like once they started seeing certain shit, then they really fucked with it. You know what I mean? But there was the early on shit, like my mom done took me and my man to the studio back when it was like, recording on fucking ADATs and, reel to reels and cutting shit on cassette. So it was a mixed thing. I mean, but they were just definitely supportive in general. You know what I mean? Sports shit, I was a big dude. I was pretty decent at sports, you know what I mean? But I wasn't passionate with it like I am with music. Like if I had the passion I had for music, I would have been balling. Like I didn't start really playing basketball till I was locked up. You know what I mean? Like I played upstate on the team and like dunking on niggas and shit. But
But that's what I'm saying though. So like usually a lot of times people turn to the streets or crime in general when they have a lack of a support system, right? What do you think it was for you, since you did have a support system with your parents and everything that turns you towards that life of crime?
it's simple. It's simple. In high school I was a bookie, right? That's where the Everything's a Gamble comes from. My mixtape series. I have a betting site now too, where I give out sports picks. It's called Everything's a Gamble as well. So I was doing that. I had got caught skipping school and I had a bunch of money on me. So they're trying to case me up for that shit. And then I slapped the shit out of this kid and I got probation. So when I was on probation, I had to do community service. And that's when I started linking up with more street niggas. You know what I'm saying? And shit went downhill real fast. You know what I mean? So
So
that's
95 to ni-
really so that was 94. Right. So that was
okay.
94. By 95, I was doing biz. Yeah.
Right. So 95 to 96, you end up getting locked up as a juvenile for like about a year, right? And you come home.
Yeah. Came home, was chilling a little bit.
What was that for though?
Robbery.
What was that you getting locked up then for? Robbery?
Robbery and carjacking, smacking niggas. All of
Okay.
it. Yeah. So so that happened. Did my shit. And there was a bunch of us though. So a bunch of us got like about a year in juvie. You get 6 to 8, 9 months. Some people had to do a whole year, whatever. But we was all fucking teenagers. We're all fucking 15, 16, 17. Um, Two of them had already been locked up. The one was on a run from a placement. So he got certified. He ended up catching like a 3 to 7 or some shit. He got certified. So he was 17, but they gave him adult time. You know what I mean? But so
Right.
the rest of us came home and shit. We linked up. I was on some Chuck chill out shit, bro. I was, I got a job. I was working the warehouse, Sugar City, which was horrible because they had you, and this is back when it was like $7.50 an hour type shit, and you're busting your ass in this hot ass thing. But I was cool with it because I'm home, so I'm cool with it. But then my man's come home and he hops right back in the street and he got it popping. So I'm chilling with him. He had me take him to bust a sale, and he made like 2 weeks of my work. You know what I mean? Off a sale. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to tap back in. Fuck that. And then I really started wilding.
So
Cheers to
when you
that.
first when you first started getting in trouble in the streets and stuff like that, like how did your parents react to that?
The fuck is wrong with you? They were shocked, disappointed. You know, you're doing good in school, doing good in sports, even music. You know, me and my man was cutting demos and selling shit, and you know, holding jobs. You know, I was doing all right on a lot of levels. So I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But she still came to my hearings and shit. You know what I mean? Still
Right.
supportive like that. So, it was what it was. And but my first adult shit, it was a lot worse. Plus, what I didn't know is see, I thought they couldn't use your juvie shit, but you have to have a certain amount of time without getting in trouble for that shit to be expunged. I came home like May 96, and I was back. I got locked up Christmas Eve 96. So my juvenile shit got used in that, and I was like a repeat felon at 18. They have the point system. So all right, say it's your first offense. Punch somebody in the face, you get 3 months, right? But it's a point system in Pennsylvania, 1 to 6 points. So if you got 2 points, that 3 months turns to 6 months. You got 4 points, 6 months turns to 12 months. I already from the felonies I had in juvenile, they used it against me, and I was straight repeat felon. So I had to get the max for everything. So like I copped out to the 5 years. I got 18 months to 5 years. I copped out to that because if I would have blew trial, I was facing 5 to 10 with two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was different then too. I didn't really mind doing the time back then. I didn't have no kids. You know what I mean? A lot of my friends was there. You know what I'm saying? So it's different
So
now. I
you ended up doing the 2 to 5, but you did like what, 4 years, right?
basically, yeah,
And then you came
more or
home
less. I came home for 4 months and then I caught a gun charge.
in New York.
Yeah, yeah, I got to see Rikers Island, man.
So how long did you stay locked up for
Definitely,
that?
definitely an influence. I was on the island for basically the summer, so June, July, August. I was on the island for like 3 months, and then I bailed out and I beat that shit. They tried to do me dirty, like they ran me off the road. I got off on a legal search. Know what I'm saying? But even then, from the 5 years I did, I learned about going to the law library. So as soon as I got locked up, I just came home. So I'm on some shit right away. I'm going to the law library, looking shit up. Cause they tried to finesse me cause my shit didn't pop up, right? So it looked like it was my first arrest. It was my first arrest in New York. And then they have that PSI shit where they run the nationwide shit. But that comes at sentencing. So they're like, look, we'll give you a year. Cop out now, we'll give you a year for the gun. Now, typically, a year for a gun, hop on it. Definitely hop on it. And that shit was live, one in the head, you know what I mean? So, well, the cop did it. The cop fucking cocked the shit back and was like, oh, look what we have here. My fucking soul dropped. But yeah, when that shit went down, they're like, yo, we'll give you a year. I already know if I cop out to the year, they're gonna run my PSI, and I'm gonna have a mandatory 3 I have to do. I was like, nah, turned it down. Next time I come back, they're like, all right, you want to be a tough guy? All right. Well, our offer switch is it's not a year no more, it's 3 years. I was like, well, if I ain't take one, I ain't taking 3. Come back again. Gets continued, then I bail out. And the biggest factor was my ex-wife, shout out to her, she was my co-defendant. And since it's a conflict of interest, so like they gave her a public defender, but it was a conflict of interest for both of us at public defenders. So I ended up getting a fucking banging ass Jewish lawyer pro bono. So that's really how I beat this shit. Know what I mean?
Right.